any minute.
Bill Carter, really? How the county gave you a little nice chair, you know? Bill Carter, I'm telling you. You want roll up with the respect. What does
So you'll kick us off here.
You see it?
Yeah, she's going to kick us off. So she's.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. We're going to begin this press conference with remarks from Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniella Levine Cava, followed by remarks from County Commissioner J.C. Bermudez, and then a message from the City of Doral Mayor Christy Fraga. We'll then receive an update from Miami-Dade Fire Chief Ray Jadala and an additional update from a local EPA representative, Matt Heiser, and we'll end this presser with Creole interpretation at the end. Thank you.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Daniella Levine Cava, your Miami-Dade County Mayor. Thank you for joining us here again as we monitor the ongoing fire in Doral at the County Waste Facility and keep our community informed with your help. I'd like to thank again our first responders. They are the ones on the front line, and they are continuing to respond each and every day since this started to protect and serve our residents. And I'd also like to thank my fellow elected leaders who've joined us here today: County Commissioner J.C. Bermudez, Doral Mayor Christy Fraga, Doral Vice Mayor Rafael Pinedo, Doral Councilwoman Digna Cabral, Doral Councilwoman Maureen Porras. There she is, okay. And Bill Meredith from Covanta, as well as our EPA representative. I'd also, Matt Heiser, I'd like to thank him. He is here from the Environmental Protection Agency. They've been on site now since Tuesday, and we're grateful for all of their efforts to help us ensure the safety for both our fire rescue personnel, and our Doral residents. I'll move quickly so that you can hear from all of these on-site experts, but I can confirm that as of this morning, there is minimal change in the status of the fire, and it continues to burn inside 2 structures. To create additional access to the fire, our teams began a partial demolition of the space yesterday, and they are making steady progress. Today, they'll focus on bringing down both the north and east walls of the structure. That will allow more air to enter the structure and create more space, more access for our personnel to put out this fire. As a reminder, the EPA has been on the ground and on site working hand in hand with our Fire and Division of Environmental Resources Management, DERM, teams with robust monitoring for both our water and air quality. I'm happy to share that they've completed their first 24-hour environmental report. And again, EPA Representative Matt Heiser is here to share more details. But their initial findings do support all of our current county guidance. Their 24-hour report is in line with all existing recommendations to the public, including residents in the area should remain indoors as much as possible and keep their windows closed. Anyone driving around the plant, we recommend you please keep your windows rolled up to avoid bringing smoke into the vehicle. These recommendations are especially important for anyone experiencing respiratory issues. These residents should do their best to limit outdoor activity at this time and take additional precautions if you are outside, such as wearing a mask. We're in touch with our Chief Medical Officer from Jackson Health System, Dr. G, who is actively reviewing these reports and supports our current recommendations. Residents should remain indoors as much as possible, and those with pre-existing respiratory conditions can take extra precautions. That's what the doctors say. I want to again thank the men and women of our Miami-Dade Fire and Police Departments for their extraordinary work. They have been working around the clock this week, and thank you also to our solid waste team who've been working to ensure the minimal impact to waste services across our county. We'll continue to keep our residents updated with the latest information. Doral residents will continue to receive additional communication through our emergency text messaging service and through the city of Doral. Information is being posted, regularly updated at miamidade.gov/wastefire. Nuestros bomberos llevan 5 días combatiendo este incendio. El fuego sigue ardiendo lentamente en 2 estructuras de la planta. Para acceder al incendio, nuestros equipos empezaron a demoler una parte de la planta ayer. Estamos comprometidas a garantizar la seguridad de nuestros residentes y la de nuestros bomberos. Y esta semana, representantes de la Agencia de Protección Ambiental Federal han estado trabajando con nuestros equipos monitoreando la calidad del agua y del aire. El primer informe medioambiental de la agencia respalda todas nuestras recomendaciones del condado, incluyendo, pero mientras el incendio continúa, residentes deben seguir evitando esta zona si es posible. Especialmente las personas con problemas respiratorios deben evitar actividades al aire libre cerca del incendio y tomar precauciones adicionales si deben estar afuera, como usar una máscara. También estamos en contacto con nuestro director médico del Sistema de Salud de Jackson, quien está revisando activamente estos informes y respalda estas mismas recomendaciones. Agradezco el trabajo de nuestros rescatistas y policías y seguiremos informando a nuestros residentes. Los residentes de Doral seguirán recibiendo comunicaciones adicionales a través de nuestro servicio de mensajes de texto de emergencia y de la ciudad de Doral. And now our Commissioner J.C. Bermudez. I'm going to move this way. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And I simply want to reiterate what our county mayor has indicated. I want to thank the men and women, Chief Doral and the men and women of the fire department who have done a fantastic job over these last 5 days. I reiterate, I live a half a mile, I have lived for many years, half a mile from this site, and I would ask the residents of Doral, my neighbors, and those who come and work in the area, whether it's Doral or the unincorporated areas adjacent to us or the town of Medley, if you have respiratory problems, try to stay inside. until this incident is concluded. And that, I think, is the most important thing we can say today. I believe we still have the same restrictions we were talking about earlier of if you're driving by the area, roll up your window. If for some reason you do have respiratory problems, and obviously if you step outside, try to have some sort of covering. But at this point, the most important thing is to make sure that we have progress, and there has been great progress. And I want to again thank you, Chief Jadala, for the great job that your team has done in not only containing this fire, but bringing this to a conclusion without any major incident. I don't believe, Madam Mayor, if I'm correct, that any firefighter has been injured. There's been no individual injured to our knowledge as a result of this incident. I think that's the most important thing. Soy el comisionado del distrito Juan Carlos Bermúdez. Le doy las gracias a nuestra alcaldesa y el jefe del departamento de bomberos por el gran trabajo que han hecho, el equipo completo, de no solamente controlar este fuego, este incidente, mejor dicho, pero también cada día ir mejorando la situación para los residentes y las personas que trabajan en el área. Como ustedes saben, algunos que me conocen por mucho tiempo, yo vivo como media milla de este sitio. Obviamente lo que le pido a los residentes, a mis vecinos, y también a los que viven o trabajan en la área de Doral o la área no incorporada cerca y la área de Medley o la ciudad de Medley, que si tienen un problema respiratorio, traten de no salir afuera, manténganse dentro de su casa si es posible, y los que estén viajando o los que estén precisamente caminando o visitando por la área, traten obviamente si están en un vehículo de tener la ventana cerrada para no recibir recibir algo que esté en el aire posiblemente. Yo creo que lo más importante que escuchamos hoy, como dijo nuestra alcaldesa, es que no ha habido lesiones, gracias a Dios, para ni los bomberos ni para los residentes, y que lo que el Departamento Federal del Ambiente está analizando ha indicado que la área no tiene ninguna situación que es problemática a largo plazo, pero reiteramos que es importante que si tienen problemas con respiración, sea ya algún tipo de asma, algún tipo de otro tema de ese índole, lo preferible es que no estén afuera. Y termino dándole gracias otra vez a Chief Jadala y al equipo completo de nuestro Departamento de Bomberos del Condado, que han hecho un trabajo extraordinario, no solamente lidiando con este fuego, pero también llevándonos a una conclusión favorable y manteniendo un fuego que se podía haber extendido. Muchas gracias. And I'd like to turn it over to
Mayor Christy Fraga, Doral.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Mayor Christy Fraga, providing an update to the Doral community. City leadership and staff continues to proactively address the serious matter affecting our community. At the parks, we are assessing this situation on a case-by-case scenario, taking into account each day the wind shifts and the effects on the parks surrounding the plant. Based on that, we are moving programming indoors or relocating programming to parks not exposed to heavy smoke. Doral is 15 square miles, so residents in different areas may feel effects differently. We continue to ask that you remain indoors in these affected areas as much as possible. The advisory is in an effort to avoid being outside in smoky conditions for an extended period of time. Additionally, we continue to ask the public to please avoid areas that may cause delay due to closed roads. The closed roads continue to be Northwest 97th Avenue from 58th Street to Northwest 74th Street in north and southbound directions, and eastbound traffic on Northwest 66th Street are closed between 97th Avenue and 102nd Avenue. I want to once again thank the brave men and women of the Miami-Dade County Fire Department who continue to work around the clock to extinguish this fire in its complete effect for the safety of our community. I also want to express my gratitude to Chief Edwin Lopez and the Doral Police Department, as well as Miami-Dade County Police Department, who continue to assist with traffic in the area. Finally, with the health and wellness of our residents and the transparency being our top priority, I am asking that Miami-Dade County provide air and quality report findings to the public as soon as possible. To stay informed, please check all the city's social media platforms, websites, and updates, as well as the county's websites for constant communication. As all advisories have been put out verbally and through our social media platforms. We thank Miami-Dade County for their continued communication with us. This is a unique, unexpected situation for both, and we are working together to resolve the matter as quickly as possible for the safety and well-being of everyone in our community. Buenas tardes, soy Cristi Fraga, la alcaldesa de la ciudad de Doral, para brindarle una actualización sobre nuestra comunidad de Doral. El liderazgo y el personal de la ciudad de Doral continúa trabajando de manera proactiva sobre este grave asunto que afecta a nuestra comunidad. En los parques estamos evaluando las situaciones en caso por caso, teniendo en cuenta que cada día los vientos pueden cambiar y brindando soluciones de traer eventos y prácticas cuando posible para adentro y moviéndolo a diferentes instalaciones y diferentes parques dependiendo en las condiciones. Recuerden que Doral tiene 15 millas alrededor y cada residente puede sentir un afecto diferente dependiendo en lo cerca que está a la situación. Continuamos pidiéndole a la comunidad que consideren no estar afuera por largo tiempo si están alrededor de la planta. Las condiciones de humo pueden cambiar y la idea no es estar afuera por mucho tiempo donde hay humo todavía de sobre la planta. Además, continuamos pidiéndole al público que evite lo más posible la área donde las calles están cerradas. Las carreteras cerradas siguen siendo la 97 Avenida desde la 58 calle hasta la 74 calle en dirección norte y sur, y la calle 66 al este desde la 97 Avenida hasta la 102 Avenida. Una vez más, quiero agradecerle a los valientes hombres y mujeres del Departamento de Bomberos de Miami-Dade y el Departamento de Policía del Condado, igual que a nuestro jefe de policía, Edwin López, y los policías del Doral por su asistencia en la área con el tráfico. Finalmente, la salud y el bienestar de nuestros residentes, igual que la transparencia a nuestros residentes, es la prioridad principal para nosotros. Y con eso pedimos al condado del Miami-Dade que por favor pongan los reportes al público lo más antes posible sobre las condiciones de la calidad de aire y agua. Para mantenerlos informados, seguimos poniendo información en nuestras redes sociales, en la página de web del condado y con comunicaciones de textos y llamadas telefónicas. Todos los avisos que hemos brindado han sido en comunicación con Miami-Dade County. Le damos gracias al condado por sus comunicaciones y sus actuaciones sobre este tema, y juntos estamos trabajando para resolver esta situación única y algo que para nosotros es importante, y la seguridad de nuestra comunidad es la prioridad número uno. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you. We'll hear now from Chief Jadala.
Good afternoon, Ray Jadala, Fire Chief from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. So today is day 5 of the operations of the waste energy fire. So currently we are also in day 2 of the partial demolition of the southeast portion of the building. We currently have 100 Miami-Dade firefighters still on scene, including our Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Incident Management Team that's coordinating efforts in conjunction with the Department of Emergency Management. We have four operations currently going on. The first one, of course, is the fire extinguishment of the trash and the 2 buildings, and the second one is the partial demolition of the southeast building, which is the largest of the areas that contains the trash pit. The third item is we're coordinating the shuttling of trash from the north trash pit on the property to avoid, any possibilities of that catching fire. And then fourth, we're conducting the final of the fire investigations of the incident. I just wanted to be a little proactive. I know this question comes up quite often, is how long is the fire going to burn? And until we actually remove the remainder of the walls and actually get the apparatuses in there, the heavy machinery to remove the trash, we won't have an exact idea. And we expect the smoke to subside over the course of time. But, I also had conversations with the Joint Information Center. They are going to release some close-up footage as to what the quantity of work that's going on right now. And I think once everyone sees the actual quantity of work that is going on inside that building, they'll have a better understanding. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Matt Heiser from Environmental Protection Agency, please. Mr. Spanish.
Thank you. My name is Matthew Heiser. I'm with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency out of Region 4 in Atlanta. Very proud to be here supporting Miami-Dade Fire on this very complex response. The EPA has been here since Monday night. We've been collecting air samples since that time, and we continue to collect air samples around the perimeter of the property. And we are conducting air monitoring as well. We have air monitoring stations collecting information around the perimeter of the property, and we're providing that information through the incident command system. We've also started to conduct air monitoring throughout the community, downwind, near residential areas, and we are providing that information through the incident command as well. We are providing this information to EPA toxicologists who are reviewing the data and feeding back through the incident command system, and also providing the data to the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, ATSDR, and they are reviewing that data and providing information back to us as well. We will continue conducting air monitoring until we can make a transition with an environmental contractor who will take over air monitoring and air sampling, and we will remain on scene until we are confident and comfortable, and we have a handover with those operations.
Thank you. Great. And now we'll have our Haitian Creole translation. Thank you.
Bonjour tout le monde. Dans le moment que nous y sommes, nous sommes capables de confirmer que nous gagnons quelques changements qui fait au niveau du feu, mais qui continuent à brûler dans deux buildings. Pour le moment, gagner effort qui a fait au niveau du département pompier pour démolir deux murs, en côté nord, en côté est, pour permettre accès à l'équipe pour le travail, pour être capable de colter avec du feu. Agence protection environnementale travaille main en main avec l'équipe environnementale nous pour être capable de calculer et vérifier qualité de l'eau avec qualité air que nous gagnons. Moi content pour m'annoncer que résultat 24 heures sur qualité air à de l'eau sur le plan environnemental la sorti et confirmer tout ça que nous te bail comme avis dans le jour qui t'est passé. Mais qui ça est? Recommandation, c'est les résidents qui vivent dans la zone doivent rester à l'intérieur autant que possible et quitter fenêtres fermées. Deuxièmement, l'autre groupe c'est les gens qui sont dans la machine, rester dans la machine nous et quitter porte fenêtre machine nous fermée de sorte que la fumée pas entrer dans la machine là. Troisième groupe c'est les gens qui ont un problème respiratoire, limiter le temps que nous avons passé dehors et si possible prendre disposition additionnelle quand vous mettez masque. Nous continuons à information avec moun qui gagne information que ont besoin. Pour le moment, moun Doral a continué à recevoir texte message que a envoyé bayo et ensuite message qui a sorti dans ville Doral. Tout l'autre monde qui a besoin d'information pour aller dans miamidade.gov/wastefire. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Lionel? All right, so questions, please.
Are there any other federal agencies on site or planning to visit the site of the fire?
Anyone else?
Question. The scale that the EPA uses to determine the air quality, how recent it is this something that has been used in the last 5 years, 10 years, or is this something that is updated every so often?
Please.
The scale that the EPA uses to evaluate smoke contaminants in the air is developed by the EPA Air Program and reported also under the Air Quality Index for particulates. And this scale is something that we continuously use on responses across the country. It's reviewed and updated regularly, and it is information that we rely on for incidents of this nature quite frequently. And yes, sorry.
So when you say regularly, that means when something like this happens, but if something similar happened 5 or 10 years ago, it's the same way that it's being used, or it's updated every so often?
It's updated or reviewed as needed according to the most recent data. We have programs that review and update those for our emergency response program, taking data developed from the most recent research and evaluating those against the instrumentation that we use to monitor air quality during emergency responses.
Would it be accurate to say this is industry standard, and we have, for example, a private company that's coming as well, and they would use the same instrumentation?
Yes, this is the same instrumentation that a private company would use to monitor particulates in the air.
Very good. Any other questions?
Sorry, with respect to the monitoring that's taking place, is it that there hasn't been an observable elevation in anything concerning, or is it that anything that's been found in the air is within an acceptable range? I mean, would you say that have there been any changes in the air as a result of this fire, or is it that if there are changes, it's still within an acceptable range?
So the smoke moves in different directions, and it may move in the west or the north or the northwest at different times of the day, and it may move throughout the day. And then different people are going to have different responses to that. There are people that that are more sensitive to the smoke than others. And so we have different categories of these ranges and then different recommendations on how to respond based on those different categories.
If I could just add, my understanding is that when there's a fire, people should stay away, that it's not a good thing to inhale smoke from a fire, whatever is the cause of the fire. And we are monitoring this to make sure there are no toxic elements, but it's a fire and there's smoke, and we want people to avoid breathing the smoke. Any other questions?
En español, por favor. Alcaldesa, ¿se ha habilitado alguna línea caliente para que las personas puedan efectuar algún tipo de pregunta? Nos están llamando personas a la estación, nos están diciendo que no tienen con quién comunicarse, que tienen preguntas, y nos están diciendo, por ejemplo, que hay niños, bebés que tienen problemas respiratorios, que no tienen recursos a dónde irse. ¿Qué sería lo que se le puede decir a estas personas? ¿Estar en casa sería la mejor recomendación, definitivamente?
Sí, eso es la recomendación del condado, de la agencia federal, que si vive dentro de las 2 millas, que queda en casa, que no juega afuera, y si está pasando por automóvil, que cierre las ventanas. Pero los que tienen más riesgo, que toman más precaución, por ejemplo, y tenemos 2 números para llamar de información de DERM, nuestra agencia del ambiente natural, 305-372-7955, 372-6955, y también 311. Siempre pueden llamar para más información y usar la página red miamidade.gov/wastefire.
I have one more in English, if you don't mind. Sorry, hot seat again. What level of certainty do you have with the results that you have so far about any possible prolonged issues?
This is a brief period in time, brief exposures. I can't say anything about prolonged and long-term issues. The recommendation is to stay out of the smoke as much as possible and stay indoors if there is smoke in the area.
I want to emphasize that our firefighters are doing everything in their power to extinguish this fire. They've been working around the clock. It was up to a 4-alarm fire. They're working long shifts. They've brought in any extra personnel that might be needed. They're knocking down the walls of a building so they can get to the interior of the fire quickly. So everything in their power to extinguish this fire as quickly as possible. We realize that this is a concern, an inconvenience, that people are worried. We are all wanting to extinguish this fire as quickly as possible, and we're providing the best guidance we can. And basically, it's like any fire. Stay out of the smoke to your best ability. Thank you. Don Bombero. Okay. Erica, by popular demand.
Bueno, este es el quinto día que llevamos en esta operación, en este operativo, tratando de apagar este incendio. Hemos visto varios retos. Uno de los retos que continuamos es la demolición de una de las paredes, de las dos paredes, las cuales nos daría acceso al incendio, y en realidad eso es lo que estamos en este momento concentrándonos en tratar de llegar al fondo de este incendio. Tenemos en este momento más o menos 100 bomberos que continúan trabajando este incendio. Hemos visto que estamos progresando, pero obviamente no podemos determinar cuánto tiempo más estaríamos trabajando de esta manera. Lo que sí sabemos es que hemos visto un poco que las condiciones del humo han mejorado. El humo, no estamos viendo el humo espeso negro que vimos los primeros días, y en este momento continuamos esa labor.
I'd just like to add that we'll be posting, of course, all the reports that are received. We received the first one and expect a second one shortly, and we'll post them for everyone on the website, miamidade.gov/wastefire, and continue to update you with all further reports. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Gracias.